4 years ago, I was at the lowest point that I can remember. I had recently graduated college, felt completely lost about what I wanted to do with my life. And I know that all sounds dramatic, but I know I'm not alone in this either. And maybe you have felt this way too. I wasn't happy. And the worst part is that I knew that I should be. I had the stable job, steady paycheck, clear path forward, but I still wasn't fulfilled. At the end of the day, I was sick of trading my time for money, sitting at a desk, counting down the hours until I could log out of my email and escape my windowless office. And the truth is, I just felt useless, directionless, completely uninspired. So I'm wondering, does any of this sound familiar to you? Well, here's the secret to how I quit my job. I stopped feeling sorry for myself, and I decided to actually do something about it. Welcome, Daydreamer. This is the Living Your Daydream podcast, and in this show, we quest together through seasons of life and business. I'm Asher James, a photographer, filmmaker, and creative business mentor, and my hope is that this show helps you settle into a place of peace and comfort in a world that attempts to distract us from what really matters, setting a healthy foundation for us to take big action on our goals and to achieve the life we've always dreamed of. As you listen, I invite you to join in on conversations with me that I have with industry friends, reflect on new ideas and inspirations, and apply this knowledge to design a life that I and you have always dreamed of. This is the Living Your Daydream podcast. Welcome back to Living Your Daydream. I'm Asher James, and today I'm going to tell you exactly how I built my six-figure business and walked away from my office job for good. Now, if you're an aspiring photographer looking to quit your 9-to-5 and start doing work that actually lights you up, then this episode is for you. This episode is going to focus on the financial side of things, and I'm not going to go deep into expenses here. I'm just going to break down my client bookings and revenue so that you can get a realistic look at what's possible for you. And now I want to make a disclaimer here. I know that videos and podcasts like this can sometimes feel like a humble brag, but when I was growing my business, I loved hearing the honest breakdowns of how people are actually making money in their business. And it really inspired me and helped open up and pull back the curtain as to showing what a business like this could do. And so now that I've been in business for 3 years, I want to share my journey and the clients that I've booked and the finances and how that's all looked and broken down. Backing up a little bit, at my lowest point in my office job, I had to make a decision. Am I going to stay here or am I going to do something else? And nothing else really inspired me or sounded like what I wanted to be doing. Any other job I looked at just seemed like the same problem I was having at my office job was just going to continue. And ultimately, the problem was, again, going back to trading my time for money instead of trading value for money, right? And so I decided that I'm going to dust off my old camera that I had tucked away in my closet for 4 or 5 years, and I'm going to give my photography business a second chance. I started small, taking on a few gigs here and there, and then just 15 months later, I was able to put my 2-week notice in and go full-time as a photographer. So fast forward a few years, now I'm running a 6-figure photography, filmmaking, and podcasting business. I own and manage a co-working space and studio with other creatives and entrepreneurs. And most importantly, I get to do what I love every single day. So now let's take a look at how my income has evolved year by year, starting with 2021, which is my first year of side hustling. Okay, so I'm going to put all these numbers on the screen so that you can see what I am talking about. And the first thing I want to do is start with my first year of side hustling, which was 2021. So this is when I was just talking about being at my lowest point, wanting to do something different. And so I posted on Facebook and just simply said, hey, I'm thinking about shooting weddings again. I had shot weddings back in 2014 to 2017, ended up stopping. And I have a whole nother episode on that. I'll leave in the show notes. But I was like, hey, I want to give this another shot. And so people reached out. They commented, word of mouth happened, and I ended up booking 4 weddings in 2021. ranging from $1,000 to $1,500 and totaling about $5,000 in revenue just from those 4 bookings for weddings. And at this stage, I'm still in my office job, booking weddings on the side and just testing the waters. Then comes 2022, which is the year that I end up going full-time, but not yet. That wasn't until the very end of the year in December. So throughout 2022, I had 9 weddings ranging from $230, which is one that I did for free, and that was actually just the tip that they gave me, to $2,850. So this ended up totaling $17,177 from those 9 weddings. I did a few other sessions throughout the year. So I had 4 other bookings for either family photography, engagement photography, what have you, ranging from $250 to $450 per session, totaling $1,300 from those 4 bookings. And then there was a handful of other things that I did. There were 4 other projects that I worked on, either for photo or video, ranging from $200 to $1,000, totaling $1,950. So total revenue for 2022 with those 17 clients, those 17 projects, was $20,427. And now at the end of the year, this is when I started getting a lot of bookings for 2023, and when the opportunity to open this co-working space and studio came about. And again, I have another episode on that. It'll be down in the show notes. But what I want to do now is talk about 2023 and what actually happened in my first year being full-time and what I made. Hey, Daydreamers, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you for being here and listening to the podcast. I started the show to give back and to share the mindset, the strategies, and the lessons that have helped me build my business over the years. And if you're enjoying this content and you want to help more people just like you find the show, all you need to do is take 30 seconds, maybe if you're driving, before you go into wherever you're going, or if you're just listening to this like at work, take 30 seconds, please. Leave the show a 5-star rating. And if you're listening on Apple, you can leave the show a review. I would love if you did that. That's one of the only ways that shows can actually grow and reach more audiences. So thank you again so much. And now let's dive back into the episode. So 2023, this is the big growth year. This is the year where I make over 6 figures across all of my businesses, but in the wedding business, I didn't quite get there, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. So this is a big year of growth. So I had 16 bookings for weddings, ranging from $1,000 to $5,750. And that totaled $53,254 just from weddings. This is also where I introduced podcast producing. And so I had 4 different shows that I worked on, ranging from $2,770 to $4,400 per project, totaling $12,713 in the podcasting revenue stream. In other work, I did 16 different projects in 2023, ranging from $197 to $1,697, totaling $13,011. So my total revenue on the photography, filmmaking, and podcasting side of things for 2023 was $78,978 from 36 clients. So my average monthly revenue in my first year going full time was $6,581.50. Now keep in mind that's gross revenue. That is not actual pay or what I took home as a salary, but we'll get there later. Average per client was per booking, if I divide these by the 36 projects that I did, was $2,193 per project. So this is the year things really started clicking for me. I expanded past just photography and began making more money through podcast production and other diversification of things that I'm doing. So that brings us to 2024, which is the year that I officially broke 6 figures in just my production business, not including the co-work. So for weddings, I had 16 total bookings, totaling $66,967. And the amount per wedding was $1,500 to $7,700. So big increase here. And the biggest thing that was different about some of those bigger weddings was that we were actually shooting photo and video. And I'll break down in a future episode or YouTube video how I did that and how I've diversified my wedding business to do both photo and video. But that's not this video. Podcasts, I had 5 different shows that I worked on, ranging from $3,400 throughout the year to $9,250. So just for the podcasting branch of the business, that totaled $24,718. There were 4 other projects that I worked on, ranging from $500 to $7,000, totaling $12,088 on the year, for other miscellaneous projects. So total revenue from 25 clients this year was $103,773, which is an average monthly revenue of $8,647.75. And the average per client per booking was $4,150.92. So huge change here. I took on less clients, increased the amount of money per client, per project, and was able to make some work that I'm really, really proud of. So 2024, great year. However, it doesn't look so great when we start looking at what I actually paid myself. And again, I'm actually going to be breaking that down in a future episode. So make sure to stay tuned, because all of this that I'm telling you is not all that it's cracked up to be. And so we'll get there. But in the meantime, I want to tell you a little bit about the 3 secrets to scaling your business to 6 figures and things that I've learned along the way. So secret number 1 is the truth about niching. And here's the truth. You don't need to niche right away. I see so many new photographers out there stressing about finding their one thing. But the truth is that you aren't going to know what that one thing is, or what you love, or even what's profitable, until you try a few different things, right? So think of it like farming. Before you can plant a full successful crop, test the soil, plant different seeds, see what actually grows, what works, what you like, what brings in revenue. So before you go all in on one niche, I want to encourage you to give yourself the time and space to experiment with what you actually like, so that by the time you're ready to go all in on your one thing, you're confident that that's what you want to be spending your time doing. So try weddings, portraits, branding shoots, podcast producing, whatever it is, whatever interests you. Secret number 2 is to learn sales. I don't want you to be scared of sales. I think a lot of people are, and they feel guilty about selling. But no matter how talented you are, if you don't know how to sell, you aren't going to make money. And sales doesn't have to feel sleazy or awkward when it's done right. My opinion is that sales is all about serving your client, right? And so there's 3 main core pillars of business, which is your offer. So making sure that your service is valuable and in demand. Then you need to market that offer, get it in front of the right people, and then sales, right? Sell it. So learn how to confidently convert those leads into paying clients. And I never want you to stop learning these skills. I'm still learning about them every day, and they're always going to be relevant, and they're always changing too. Secret number 3 is I want you to think like a 6-figure business owner. If you want to make $100,000, you need to start acting like the business that makes $100,000, right? So for me, this meant taking the risks that others weren't willing to take to get the business and the success that others will never have. It meant not having a plan B, right? Just going all in on plan A. If you treat your business like a side hustle, it's going to stay a side hustle. And the moment you start treating it like a real business, everything is going to change for you. So I hope this episode gives you a real honest look at what it takes to go full-time as a photographer, at least from my experience, and to scale to 6 figures, and kind of a little look behind the scenes is what that looked like for me. And now, just to be clear, this is not a get rich quick story. My expenses are pretty significant. I have studio rent, payroll, software subscriptions, gear costs. I have a team that shoots weddings with me. So I'm going to break that down later. But at the end of the day, I'm able to pay myself a salary for my business. And it's getting to be more than what it was at my office job. And more importantly than that, I get to do what I love, and I want the same for you. So if you're new here, my name is Asher. I create content just like this about creativity, entrepreneurship, and lifestyle design. And if you want more inspiring and actionable content, be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you right back here in the next episode.